Are we ready to start back? We get this thing up and running here. Hold on. Right. Are we seeing the board okay? Chris, we see the board all right? You guys okay? You want me to shift around? Are you seeing it all right, Curtis and Mr. and Mrs.?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right, so up and running, IT is in, we good to go. All right, so okay guys, now we have to pay some attention to make sure that we all understand what is happening. Right, okay, so we have everybody up and running. Let us go back into this 800 word essay that we have to do. On your title sheet, please confirm that everybody is receiving as a backup to what IT would have sent in your group. Also from the WhatsApp and stuff, we are all receiving some of the handouts and the notes. We're good to go with that, right, guys? You're like getting that, right? Okay. But still, you missed something, feel free to still connect with me. Say, Hero, I didn't get the notes for this. I know it was sent in the group, something like that. Let me know where I can still help out when we go around. So people, in your title sheet, on your title sheet, you write 800 plus, and you work with what I told you, what came to you in the chat. You work with that. Your word count is 800 plus sign. Everybody understand that? Everybody understood that, what I said? Good. Right. So, we need to do this 800 word essay. You have a limit that I can work with you as your module leader. I've given you that limit. It came back to you. So you're good to go with your title sheet. We want to get into the meat of the thing now. Very, very important. You follow the bullets. Where I say bullet and you populate, you bullet and you populate. How you write it, the information that you pull and research is strictly left up to you as a student. You would have a different style. We would all write differently and present information differently. Some of us are very image-centric, so we would create something or we pull a model and we show the picture. Some of us are very sort of narrative in our writing. We like to give the narrative and the explanations. We would read something, we'd bring it into the assignment and we'd summarize it into our own words, but we will still keep the source as to where we got the information, so our references will reflect the information source that we consulted to present the data on the paper. Are we okay with that, what I've just said? So I know I've been seeing some drafts, and as I said, I'm very impressed. One or two exchanges, but we're changing up this, we're changing around that. Shadow Wordsmith, pull it back, try to get it into the between the 8 and up word count, but nothing overboard to say this person out to lunch. They didn't have a clue what we talked about. All of you are on target, are in lane, and are on the right track. All that I've seen so far, that's a compliment. I'm very, very comfortable that we are grasping the concept going forward. So that's a plus to you all. You're already starting off ahead of the thing. Okay, so can we go back into the framework now? Are we in position? You can go there. We can go there. Okay, great. So the first thing that is necessary in your introduction is definition of OB. You are doing an 800 word essay and you have to talk about culture, and you have to talk about the impact of culture on the organizational performance. You have to draw on literature and draw on theory, yes. But you guys are on or in an OB forum. Your module is organizational behavior. You have to inform your examiners, local and foreign, of your academic knowledge of the subject. So you are opening your essay with two definitions of organizational behavior. You are going via your search engines, via books that you have, via the e-library that have been provided for you, and you are researching organizational behavior to see what Weber says, to see what Mullins says, what Lewin might have said, what are the different Bradshaw, all of those guys, the different authors. I'm not going to say, use this one, use that one. I'm giving it that to Shine and Hofstede. I'm leaving it open for you to find out what two theorists or two authors say, defining OB, guys, and you put that in there. First thing in your paper must be a definition of organizational behavior. It's quite all right if two students have the two same definitions. That's fine. It meant that you all were researching the same area. This is accepted because here is literature we're talking about, theory we're talking about, a quote, open inverted commas, close inverted commas. Your definition could be in italics or it could be underlined. In that way, it is not considered in your word count. So if you have a definition and it's 20 words, guys, I know I think there's a maximum of how much words you can actually put in a quote or definition, but it's not going to be, your definition is not going to go overboard there. It tells you that you have just saved 20 words. So if your word count is 840, you really have 820 because those words are not counted. Open inverted commas, close inverted commas, you put it in italics, or you have it underlined. Is that okay so far? Are we good? Are we starting the thing? We good? All right, good. Thank you, good. After you've done that, you then explain the OB concept. And what is the OB concept, guys? The OB concept is organizational behavior, organizational development, and organizational efficiency. From a global perspective, organizations today are undergoing research in the field of organizational behavior, the science of the people in organizations, to understand how these people are motivated, to identify the cultures in the organizations, so that organizations can make adjustments in their strategies and in their policies and in their operational plans so as to achieve organizational development. Once an organization has achieved organizational development, the next step is the maintenance or the business continuity plan to achieve organizational efficiency so that they can be at the cutting edge or achieve competitors' advantage. That is from a global perspective. Organizations worldwide, let's start with that. From an international perspective, organizations are conducting research. Those are some of the linked, strong power words you can use when you are explaining this. Are we good? Are we good with bullet 2, guys? Great, thank you, Jillian. Then, red car. And Ruskin tells you, the car is red. And they're going to come back and ask you, what is the color of the car? And you are going to tell them, the car is red. As an executive, as a working practitioner, making decisions at the general manager's level, regardless of the institution or the sector, we don't have time for flowers. We don't have time for long-winded set of writing so as to impress any library with big words and fancy saying, and they say the same thing over in the first paragraph and the second paragraph, and they're just writing because you have a good flow of vocabulary. and you're eloquent in your writing style. No, 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 no. At this level, as a working executive, it is about presenting the facts. Charlene, are you having connection problems? You're not hearing me properly, you're not seeing, or is it the fact that it's your system, is it our system? Are you everybody hearing me? Are we good? Charlene, you're probably having some challenges maybe? It's freezing up? Yeah, it's probably on your end.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and leave and come back and see if that helps, yeah.
Please come back, please. Okay, guys. So you say what you're going to do. Where do I find that information? It's in the task. What the task said that you have to go and do is what you're telling ARU, myself, the other lecturers, and go look at your paper, what you're going to do. It's almost as though I am examining and evaluating myself. I want to see how much you have listened. You would see sometimes in your comments, those who are sending the drafts, and those who are yet still to send your drafts. I would say something like, you adhere well to your guidelines. This year is your guidelines, guys. And you adhere well to your guidelines in that your essay flows. You define the OB with the two definitions, you explain in a very good, comprehensive, articulate narrative the concept, and you closed off your introduction by telling us what you're going to do. That is really your aim. In your 2200, you'll see how you expand on that a little bit. Your aim, you say what you're going and do. This is an essay of a high level, and you are finished with your introduction. Are you comfortable so far, guys, with your introduction, based on what we've just discussed? Are we good? Are we good with the introduction so far, guys?
Yes, sir, we're good.
Right. So we are finished with the introduction. We now have to go in the body. The body is what is going to take from you a little more now. This is going to be a little more challenging. Here you have to expand a little bit. This is the spinal cord of the assignment. It's what the assignment is standing upon. You are going to label this section of your essay body or discussion. Any one of those subtitles, your essay is broken up into 3 parts, guys. Introduction, the word introduction, and you populate below that. The word body or the word discussion, and you populate under that. Let me repeat this. Your essay must be written in those 3 sections. Section 1, introduction. Populate what is required under your introduction. How you write those bullets. What you put in those bullets is strictly up to student skill set, writing style, and where you got your information. The next section is your body or discussion, not body, discussion. Either you say body or you say discussion, anyone. And then you populate by the bullets what is expected to be seen in your body or your discussion. When you're finished with that, next section, conclusion. Conclusion, and then we will get into what is required there, and you populate your conclusion with what I have just asked you to adhere to your guidelines. And you close with references, which is the actual sources, your SAUCES, your sources that you would have. Nobody asked me what sources. Your SOURCES, guys. But it's really the source that gives the thing a good taste. Your SOURCE of where you got your information that you used in the assignment. This is to show that I would have. Yes, Charlene. Mother-in-law. Mother-in-law. Krishna, so sorry, you're outside here so long, you forget what is a good mother-in-law. And no, we will deal with that when we go by Curtis. Outside here with Kurt. So guys, remember the essays in 3 parts, right? Introduction, you haven't forgotten, all right, boss. Your introduction, your body or your discussion, and your conclusion. So let's see what the body is asking us to do. Congrats, that is to keep you localized, Mr. Krishna. Body or discussion. The first thing in the body or the discussion is that you define culture. That is the main basis of the task, to find out by literature and theory, drawing down that how culture influences organizational performance, which is really how culture impacts on organizational efficiency. The same thing they're asking you. You begin your body and discussion by defining culture. And I gave you 2 choices. You choose one. Either Shine or Hofstede. You're not compelled to go doing Shine or Hofstede. I just gave you those 2. You find another definition of culture, guys? We are good with that. You've done some external readings, you have some previous research in culture, you have some more information you'd love to share. We are interested in that. It's about sharing and doing your comparatives and having a discussion. This is the area of the essay where you can, as an alternate that word, expatiate. Okay? So, you choose one. After that, you have to explain and introduce the types of culture that exist in organizations. You're not analyzing. You are presenting 2 different things. You present the information and it is taken straight from your search engine or from your book or from your research or from your article or from your journal, and you collect it and you present it, literature and theory. You've drawn down on literature and theory. No analysis. I'll show you where you use a very short analysis, how you bring in something. That is where you introduce now Charles Handley, 4 types of culture. The book is Gods of Management. I just gave you that, but there are other books where Charles Handley's 4 types of culture is also found. One of them is the Gods of Management. Here you present, as shown in red, literature only. One of our colleagues said, well, Mr. Hira, I looked at it in different areas, through different lenses, and I sort of gathered all of the information, and I placed the Charles Handley using my interpretation. Nothing is wrong with that. You're not analyzing at all. Analyzing would be if you take the Charles Handley and you're trying to find out what type of culture existed in an organization that you're reviewing. You're analyzing in your 2200. If you are presenting information only, that's what you're doing here. In the essay, you're just presenting the literature. Most important, if you pull from different areas and you make a sort of combo of your own interpretation, you must cite your source of where you got all of the information and put it in your references so that your examiner, your evaluators will be convinced of your literature base, BASE, where you found your theory, your definitions, your diagrams, your images, and your aspect of the model that we are discussing. I'm stopping right there. Do we have any questions before I continue after the Charles Handley?
Where you have, Sir Dinah speaking, where you have literature only, would that be a part of the word count or no? See,
no. Great question. Is Dinah, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great question. She's asking, for those who, because it came through kind of muffled, if we're saying literature only, would that be part of your word count? The way that you save it from being part of your word count is if you put, let's say, the child handy. I'm just going to a blank page. The child handy gives you four types of culture: role, task, personal, and power. And there's a short write-up that tells you what they are. If you can present your child handy to something like that, it does not count in your word count. Everybody understand? If you take all of this and you get to put it in a frame with your source that says where you get it there, and you encapsulate it in a frame, better yet, it's not contributing to your word count. However, if you take out the role and you have role and you write role culture, task culture, and you do it like this, this will be in your word count. You will remember that I have been asking you, I've been coercing you to be creative, use the graphics, pull it together, put the information encapsulated in a nice self-made image, student-created image or diagram. Just remember to cite your source. In that way, the tool, the technique I'm giving you is you are saving words. You take all of this and you put it in a table, for instance, which is like this, columns and rows, and you have it roll and you have the information in the task, and you do that. You are saving your words. So the technique at the MBA level writing is, how can I say the same thing, but be not in a flowing narrative like this, encapsulated or framed, so that I can pull back. Where I have 1,500 words and I do this, I realize, wait a minute, 840, I ain't looking too bad. So that is how you use the technique of the writing style in presenting the data and saving the words. Any questions? Did that answers your question?
Yes, sir, thank you.
We good? Are we okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. So we present the child handy. After that, nice literature again flowing. Drawing down literature. Big culture tool. Johnson and Scholes. When you say subheading, Tish, what you mean? When you say subheading, like in what sense? Are you talking about the identification of your sections, like intro, body, and conclusion? Or are you talking about child handy, 4 types of culture, the subheading, and then you give the data after that? Are you talking something like that?
Okay, I found it.
Say again?
On the volume, please. Right. So I'm talking about trying to, not the intro, the body, and the conclusion. I'm trying to talk about the, we put subheadings for culture.
Mm-hmm.
We put a subheading for handy and one for Johnson and Scholes.
Yes, you can do that. But just make sure it's in a different font size and, you know, if it's underlined, if it's bolded, so it does not compete with your main headings, which is your intro, your body, and your discussion. Your intro, your body, and your conclusion. So your font size or how you present it, whether it's underlined or whether it's bolded or whatever. If your discussion is fully caps, then your child handy can be fully caps. it could be every first word be in caps, or it could just be bold. But yes, the answer to your question is yes. But you have to make sure that it doesn't compete with the main subheadings of your essay.
Okay, sure, thanks.
And the reason for that is that they're also very big on presentation and structure. Your page numbering, your table of contents, we talk about that coming down to the close. You write a real good essay and you mess up your presentation and your structure, you would lose marks. All right, so we don't want that to happen at all. Somebody would have asked something before we continue.
Yeah.
Font size and line spacing, guys. There is a guide in the assignment. In the assignment guide, there's a thing that tells you about font size. If it's not there, it's also online. I really do apologize. So I don't have that specifics right now as we speak. It's something that I can probably touch base with the team and get it to you before the class is finished.
Yes, sir.
Is
Yeah.
Rhea Thomas trying to get me arrested? I sent it in the group, Rhea. You didn't get it? It went via the group.
I will look again soon. Sorry.
Touch base with one of your people who's in the group who would know.
Okay, no problem.
But I can't say it in Woodford Square.
Sir.
Yes.
Patricia.
Yippee.
Don't laugh at me. But
I would not. I promise I won't.
the Harvard referencing stuff and how they give you your guidelines, the skills. When we were doing the first degree, you know, you have a outline of how you do your assignment and so on. I see you put A, B, and C there, right? But we are custom putting 1.0 or 2.0.
No, hold on. I ain't laughing at you, Patricia. You are very correct. Your chapter numbering is here. Your chapter number is with 1.0, 1.1. But for the essay, you don't have to use like 1.0, 1.1. You're just going to use introduction, body. And so what I put the A, the B, and the C is just for us to understand the three parts of the essay. Right? If we have more than one chapter part, then, for instance, like how we have an introduction and a theoretical framework and an analysis and recommendations in the 2200, those are your 1.0, your 2.0, 2.1, 2.3, that kind of stuff. All right? So, Harvard referencing, you are very accurate, not required for the 800. It's a great question because somebody might have thought that and gone that way. You don't have to put a 1.0, 1.1 or whatever. It's only one chapter we're dealing with, which is the essay, the 800. All you have to do is just have your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. All right? In your table of contents, this 800 sometimes ends up on 3 and 4 pages, guys, because sometimes you have your diagram. Gabby, I will talk to you in a bit on that. You have to be able to, if two, but finishes on page 4. I'm just saying. Then in a table of contents, where you have body, you have pages 2-4. So you know, pages 2 to 4 is where your body is. All right? It's just a simple way of doing it, but make sure you have a table of contents. You don't need an abstract for an essay, nor do you need a table of abbreviations and that type of stuff. Table of figures and all of that, or you know, like how we normally have in a report type setting. But you must have your table of contents because most of the time this 800 takes you into a page or 2 or 3. When you have that, you have your references and all of that. Any other questions, guys? No other questions? Okay. We would have had a question. Oh, Gabby, right. Cutoff time for submission is tomorrow. Okay, Miss Adley, you all have up to tomorrow to submit your drafts. I think Gabby might have joined us late. Listen, Gabby. Protocol dictates 24 hours before your submission date. I have to stop seeing and discussing the draft with you. This is a tight deadline for you all. And I have understood what is going on with all of the other subjects that you have to do. So I am evading protocol and taking that gamble to deal with administration after that I would have seen my students up to the morning of submission. Because we reach into scenarios and we have problems, just as I told the class earlier, where you have a situation with your computer, you have a situation with the document, you can't find the original one, you know something happening, issues, the car shut down, whatever, COVID, second wave, third wave, they open back up beaches. I don't know what happened by the 6th. So I'm going to work with you up to the morning of the submission. You have a challenge situation. You're please, can you help me out? Am I good with the conclusion? I want to press send. We look at it and we give the go. I'm going to work with you with that. And I'll draw swords, which I have a large array to choose from if admin comes down my road. All right, guys? Gabby, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no.
What is it? Okay. What exactly you want to know? Because she said it doesn't answer the question.
On the day of the submission date, what is the cutoff time to submit?
Oh, anybody can answer that? Is it 5 p.m.? Or is it midnight? Thanks, Gabby, sorry. I thought you meant for my looking at your drafts.
No, okay.
Is it 5 p.m., guys? What is what is the time, the deadline for submission? That's kind of admin related. I'm really not too sure, but I don't know if you don't
up to this afternoon, Jonathan, we weren't on yet for the.
Yes, I sent that notice out already, and IT has reminded me that admin will also be looking at it, and they will be rectifying that hopefully by tomorrow in 24 hours.
So we really don't know.
So a quick one. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that deadline, Gabby's question, because there's a document somewhere, an email or something that tells you about it. I'm not too sure if the assignment guide, that 3-pager you got, says that. But Gabby, I can give you the instructor's answer. I'll get back to you and we'll sort it out, okay? I will not continue unless I'm sure this young lady here is comfortable with that response. Other than that, we have to stop the class and we're going to finally construct the time for this lady so we can know what's going on. Are we good to go? And how are you feeling, Miss Adelaide? Because I know you weren't too well last class. Are you okay today? Are things okay? Feeling much better?
A little better, yes.
Okay, good. Thanks again. So we'll sort before class is finished. We'll get that submission. It's a good question though, because that's very important. That especially when things are being done online and electronically, there are automated cutoffs. And you know, if it's 5 o'clock by 4:30, things don't start to shut down already, right? So you don't want to end up in a rush. So we'll make sure and answer that. Okay, guys.
So,
Yeah.
based on the Turnitin memo to students,
Come a little closer, Dinah.
based on the Turnitin memo to students, it states that all assignments must be submitted by 4:59 p.m. local time on the due date.
4:59 p.m. Okay, you all got that? Thank you, Dinah. 4:59 p.m. on your deadline date is your deadline submission time. So it's probably 1700, 5 p.m. Thanks again. If there's anything that you have on an official document that you can send to the group, Dinah, go ahead and do that. So everybody will see it, all right? Guys, continuing with the assignment, you introduce your Johnston School's cultural web. You want to throw in the image of the web, not a problem, but it's just the literature. What is the Johnston School's cultural web? The short write-up that comes with the literature on the model, and you put that inside here. So you have just presented to your examiners 2 main cultural models. The Charles Hanley, 4 types of culture, and your Johnston and Scholes cultural web. You've just overpowered the situation with the presentation of good literature and theory. You've basically answered their red card. They want you to draw down on literature and theory. You draw down on literature and theory, and you present it very nice, very strong, good image, nice little write-up, nice little picture. That's why some of you may have sent a draft, and I said, hey, insert an image now of your model. Complement your body and your discussion to make it look good. So although there's a nice rollout and you're looking good with the information you have inside here, make it look better. Come on, put in a picture of the four types. Rested Johnston scores just right after, so the examiner is impressed with how the essay looks. It comes out, and a picture tells 1,000 words. Now, I'm not telling you to have a picturesque sort of fancy animated essay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I understand how Alpha Romeo Uniform thinks and what they're looking for. So Alpha Romeo Uniform wants to see certain compliments. Not a slideshow, Miss Lady, but make the thing look nice. So can I turn this page, guys? Good. Now, we have to look at continuing the body and the discussion. And by continuing the body and discussion, we did what they asked us for, to present the literature and present the theory. Let me see how we're doing on time. All right, we're doing good. It says here, explain the impact of leadership on culture and further impact on organizational performance or organizational efficiency in times of crisis. Let me see who remembers what we do at this juncture in the essay.
Talk about and include the diagram.
Who said that?
Me, Jessica.
My daughter brings some tea there for me, real hot. I can't drink hot tea, you know. God, all my tongue will skull up. Blah, blah, blah. Me, Jessica. Me, Jessica. You are wrong. No, you're not. You're very right. Remember this, we said, wait a minute. They want us to draw down on theory. They want us to draw down on literature. We understand this OB thing so good that Mr. Hira carried on a session in class that allowed me as student X to ascertain what he was saying. And because I have raised the bar in my own ability as an OB practitioner, I took all that talk Mr. Hira talk about cricket and daughter and tea and OB and whatever and blah, 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 like Mr. Hira like to talk. And out of that, I was able to create a student-centric, student-created, student-sourced diagram or model to which I give a short explanation. The source, SOURCE, for that model is in class notes June 2020 or lecturer's notes June 2020. If you have in class discussion June 2020, that's fine. At the ARU level, at the MBA level, you are entitled at the MBA level while I'm speaking here, to come up with your own theory and create your own model as that. And it's accepted for the 800-word essay. Because you have to draw down on literature. We would have had a good high-level discussion that has caused you to take everything that was said and at a good MBA mind, present a model. Any questions of what I just said before we go back and look at it? Are we good? Are we good, guys? Right. So let's see if we can find back this thing that me, Jessica, told us about. We had it somewhere in our notes. Now, Mr. Hira did his leadership thing, draw arrow, you have the crisis, you have the central position as culture, and showed where culture could impact positively or negatively organizational performance. If leadership does not manage the crisis properly, the culture of the organization is to resist and therefore will impact negatively. If they manage the crisis positively, there will be no resistance and therefore the culture will influence the organizational performance positively. That was the model. You can come up with your own thing. You can build a triangle from this. It could be circles with concentric circles and join it together. I don't know. But you're just taking the gist of the discussion and you're creating a diagram or image to explain it. This is getting you across the line ahead. This is putting you in your OE as a student, in your organizational efficiency as an individual. You will be at the cutting edge and achieve competitive advantage to the same OB student that is submitting the same assignment from Australia or the Bahamas, even in the UK or somewhere else in the Caribbean. This is getting you ahead where the air is rare. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Are we good to go? Where is this document here now? Do you all understand? Do you all understand the how and the why we are inserting this model? We do? Okay, great. That's good news. Then we have to come to the conclusion. We're now at the conclusion, guys. You say what you did, which is going to be the past tense of what you was going to do. You are to paint the wall. You are saying, I am going to paint the wall. In the conclusion, I painted the wall. So you say what you did. Simple. Stick to the facts. Stay in your lane. Simple. Next point. Say what you discovered. The say what you discovered is going to link directly to your last point. But you must say how culture is influenced by leadership, especially in the times of crisis. And be it positive or negative, you are already summarizing what you said in the last part of your discussion when you explained in your own narrative the model that you created. Here you're saying it in about 2 or 3 sentences. Conclusion is your main discovery of your research for the essay. When you said that, your last point, muy importante, the last point, say how all what you've just discussed, all what you've just identified as what you have discovered, how that is going to impact the research of organizational behavior, the development of organizations, and organizations achieving organizational efficiency. Because in your statement, you can use something along the lines of indicating that the researcher concludes by advising that this new dynamic in organizations today, where leadership's ability to manage crisis has now directed the research in organizational behavior to understand the people, to develop the organization and move it to organizational efficiency. You must, the key, the heads up is you must end your essay by talking about OB, OD, OE. Find a way to bring that to the end of your essay. The concept of OB, OD, OE. Design a strategy to close by explaining the discovery impacting on the concept of organizational behavior. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Are we good to go? Are we grasping this thing? All 56 of the best OB students in the Commonwealth. Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. So this can only make you guys produce a top of the line assignment. Your references, you know how you're running that, you have us references. Cassandra, thank you very much, Winnie, guys. How you're ending this presentation and structure is a big thing. Presentation and structure is a big one. So make sure your table of contents, your page numbering, your referencing, your typos, your spell checks, you have somebody proofread it. Your sentence construction, your use of the English language. Remember, we are writing not for Mr. Hero in St. Augustine. He has been privileged to be evaluated by ERU to correct this paper. But they still want to see it. So your paper, closed borders or no closed borders, ending up on a plane and heading to ERU. That's how it used to be in the old days, guys. A box of papers going up the road. Now it's just a matter of send, and your bundle ends up in London in approximately 60 seconds. And London is going to look at your paper. London has the privilege. Somebody saying something? Yeti. All of a sudden, the tea get cold. Yes, Timmy, you can reference your white paper in the chat. But if you want to talk to me after, we're all big people. There are ways you could, if you have the privilege of seeing how it was done in the past or something and you want to work it out and take it, I know there are ways without doing plagiarism, guys, because Turnitin has something called similarity. You can't get away from that. If something passed through that tunnel and you come back with anything from it, it's going to reflect on your similarity grade and your score. And instead of being green, you'll be a hot red. This is one time red is not a good color. I talked about red cards. Non-political color, okay, guys? When I say red cards, non-political, okay? So, Timmy, I have to talk to you on that, but you have to pay a lot of attention to that similarity thing, right? Okay, so we have some chats up, and they were all saying, well done, Timmy. That's it. Okay, good. No, they weren't. All right, guys. So your references, very important. I was talking about the structure. ERU speaks a lot about the structure. They press send. London examiners have the paper and they're looking at it. They have done in the past. Here what they've done in the past. Let me ask them out there. But sometimes they would say, you know what, this paper, this is too good to come from Trinidad. Let me see what the Australian end of ARU thinks about it. And they send your bundles, go on to London, and they divert and go on Australia for a second opinion. That has happened to some students under me already. Yes, 35. DJ, 35. Supposed to be at about an amber. Green is good, amber, yellow, not bad. It starts going in the red, it raises flags. So you want to be 35, 40 marks for the late, for the most in your similarity index. The question has been asked, is there a ceiling regarding your similarity index? You want to be between 35 and 40 based on work that you would have used and that type of stuff. Any questions, guys?
So I have a question.
Who's asking?
Portland,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I reference your handouts and websites and stuff that you sent?
Yeah, you can. That's what it's there for. You just, and that is not, you can't use it as Mr. Hero handouts or Mr. Hero notes. All those handouts, some of them are, you have the link, you're using the link in your site, in your citation, or if there's an author inside it that you want to use, what I give you is expanded engine. So you can take that and then you get about 2 or 3 documents inside of one handout that you got. Yes, the answer to your question is yes.
Okay,
Is that young Kurt there, Kurt? That's young Kurt?
Yeah,
You were finished, sorry, were you finished with your question, Paul?
Yes, sir, that's it. Thanks.
Any other questions, guys? Good, very important. Have somebody read over your essay. Sometimes you write it and you know what you've written, but you didn't realize you misspelled a word or you have a little issue with the English and you didn't even realize it because of you were so engulfed in the document and the construction and you putting together the bricks and the cement. Somebody totally neutral, hey, could you read this and tell me if you're picking up? Simply just look for sentence construction and spelling. Simply just go through that. And the reason for that is because you don't want to mess up a good paper based on a sentence construction issue or tenses or you know, use of grammar and that type of stuff. Correct. Grammarly for editing. Correct. Yeah, Yana. Guys, let us soak in a little bit. We enter our next short break. You come back up for the voice and the text, and we will run for the rest of the afternoon. It's 7:30 now to take us into a nice little realm where we will go back and talk about power, politics, and conflict right after the break. And I want to complete that and still probably go back at the assignment again because apart from the tutorial, many of you may or may not make the tutorial tomorrow. It will just be an exchange of drafts and personal conversations. But from a concept of the framework, I want to make sure you grasp it, right? So let's just take a short break. Let us think, rest on here a little bit, have a look at it, and then we will start. We'll talk about power, politics, and conflict. And then we will close again, ending on the framework tonight. All right, take a short break. Look out for the text. Look out for the voice saying that you're ready to start back.